Hi, I'm Bart Hanson, the owner and operator of CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the phone number in the description.
My name's Noah. I'm the 520 is for Arizona, but this is for a hand I played in San Jose, California.
At Matrix or Bay?
Yeah, Matrix.
Okay.
Yep. And so this is I had about 300 I think behind, and the villain in here had me well covered. He had probably like 1,000 in front of him.
Is this at the 2-3 game? The game one step below the deep stack?
1-3.
1-3.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm kind of new to.
No worries. So 1-3, 300 cap buy-in, right? Is the structure?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'm on the button, and I have there's 3 limpers in front of me. So the villain limped in, and then I look down at ace jack of diamonds.
Okay.
Okay, so I raise it up to $20, and that's usually I guess it's just like the normal raise that people put in. So 2 of them fold, the villain calls.
Is that the normal first raise? Is that the normal first raise people put in? Because you said there's 3 limps.
Yeah. Oh well, everyone called for $3, and it went around to me, and I raised it to 20. I didn't want to play ace jack. I don't want to. Yeah, I want to play like a big.
I'm saying,
pot with it.
What do people usually raise to if there's no limbers, like first in the pot?
Usually like 12. Well, probably 15. I would say.
Okay, I just might make it. I might like take that normal open size of 5x and then add the limpers to it. So I might make this more like 25 here. One blind for the limpers. So 20 is a little bit on the small side. And again, it's just a situation like you talked about in the other call where if someone's picking up on the fact that you probably wouldn't make it so small, if that raise size is not consistent, somebody might pick up on the fact that you don't have a super premium hand. But anyways, you make it 20 on the button, ace jack of diamonds.
Yes, sir. And then the flop comes out, queen of.
Who called?
Calls.
Villain.
I'm sorry. Yeah, everyone folded, but the villain called.
And where is he?
He's on the cut up. Where is it? No, see. Where was he?
He was one of the limpers.
Yeah, he was one of the limpers. He puts it, but we're heads up, so I'll just say he's in the hijack.
Okay.
So I have position on him. So
okay.
And then the flop comes out, queen of hearts, 10 of spades, and then 6 of diamonds.
Okay.
And so he checks to me, and then since I showed strength, I thought, okay, well, I should bet out. So I bet $30. Is that an okay sizing?
I think that's okay, and especially, I think you can sometimes check this back, too, if you're heads up, especially if people will play a lot of pairs and stuff passively. So, you want it, because here's what the thing with ace-jack is, like, if you can get a guy to fold, like, pocket threes through pocket fives, then, okay, it's a good semi-bluff. If people are always calling with a 10, then sometimes you can just take this hand to showdown if you think you can fold somebody off of like I said, a 6 or a small pocket pair, then obviously, you can bet. So I think you can sometimes go either way here. So you bet 30.
And then he calls, and then so now I don't really know what to put him on. I guess maybe he could have top pair. I'm not really sure. But so anyways, he calls in the turn. We have about $109 in the pot. The turn comes 9 of diamonds. So now I have a up and down straight, and then also my flush could get there too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, cool. This is giving me some like equity to bet with. Like I know I feel. So he checks to me, and then I bet 60. Again, are you a fan of just checking there, or do you think that's a good bet?
Oh man, I think your hand has so much equity. It's very interesting. I feel like you want to make a bet that can allow yourself to shove on the river, though. So you want to size it so that you feel like you've got full equity at the end if you miss, because even though the 9 really helps your hand, like equity-wise, and this is why it's very awkward, like with these stack sizes too, the 9 is usually going to help him as well in the form of, like, if he's got a hand like queen jack, jack 10, whatever it is, 10-8, there's just a lot of pair and straight draws, so I don't expect to get a fold right now on the turn all that much. that's okay because you've got a ton of equity, but you'd want to size it so that you have money to bluff at the end. So here, when you bet 30 and 60 and you made it 20, I think you probably do. It looks like you've got 180 or so left on the river. So I think that that's
Well,
okay, but you can't give up on the river. I feel like because I think your opponent's gonna, if the river rolls off like an offsuit deuce, he's gonna, I think that there very well might be hands that he's gonna fold at the end. So does he call again?
okay, now so I bet 60, and this guy shoves on me. So I was
Okay.
like, dang it. But then I don't know. I guess I have so much equity, it'd be stupid for me. But I kind of felt like I just got trapped or something. I was like, oh man, he was setting me up, or you
Well,
know,
all right, so let's do the math here. So you bet 60 and villain won shove, so there was 60 on the flop, and then it was heads up, so 40, 50, 110. You
159,
bet 109. So it looks like the
160.
pot is 230, and then he shoves for what, 169 more? Is that what you said?
Well he has me covered, like well covered. So he shoves all in, and then so now I think I have about like 100 something left.
All right, so let me just
But
go back and do the math real quick. If you start with 300, 20, 50, you've I think you have about 190 left. It looks like if you started with 300, you've got about 190 left. So you bet 60 and then 170. So the pot is probably 360, 190 to call. I believe 360, 190 to call. Is that right? You bet 230, 60, and then 230. No, 420, 190 to call is what it sounds like. So it's a 420, 190 to call, I believe, is what the math is here. Um, so you're getting about 2 to 1 here, and you've got like 15 outs, right? So
yeah,
if he's got
just
two pair,
no
like
brainer.
if he shows you like queen 10 or 9 10, you probably have the equity to call. If he has king jack, that's pretty bad for you because you only have one straight out to win and the other straight out like loses. You do block the jacks. 7 8 is another straight that he can have that gives you like a full amount of equity. Your heads up, so he could have been like slow playing queen 10, queen 9. I gotta be honest with you, when it's close like this, it's probably a couple percentage points. I would probably gamble here and call.
Yeah,
Getting 2 to 1. You've got an open-ended straight draw and a flush draw. Who knows? Maybe he's going nuts with if he's got like queen jack. You have an over with an ace here too. I would gather it's probably pretty close if we put in a range, like a poker cruncher range. You might be down by 1 or 2 percentage points, or maybe up to 5%. But I feel like in a capped game, especially when it's so close and building your stack up has value here too, especially if you're just going to rebuy. When it's close in a capped game, I usually go for the more gambly proposition and call here if I did the math correctly.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I did. I decided to call, and then the river, the river was a 3 of hearts. I didn't hit it, and then
Uh-huh.
he had queen 10, queen king offsuit.
Yeah, king queen. So that's an awesome spot. You're calling, and that's what I'm talking about. Like he might just go nuts with queen jack, king queen. I mean, if he's got king queen, you've got 3 outs to an ace, right?
But
You have another 3 outs to a king, another 3 outs to an 8, 9 diamonds. Some of that stuff is like taken out, but I think you actually have the proper equity specifically against king queen. Again, if he's got king jack, you're not in great shape, but it can't. It's very close, and I like to choose the gambling spot. So
okay, all right, cool. Well,
I
thank
just
you
think
so much.
I think that the other interesting thing here to note too, a lot of people, if you're a new guy, you probably not might not be familiar with this, but this is sometimes where I struggle with too, is that if you're playing at a higher level, you're supposed to barrel the turn cards that give you equity, but I think a lot of people don't realize that, especially in a cap game like this, I will sometimes check back on a 9 with ace jack because it's just going to fit into your opponent's range so much. Now, with the 9 of diamonds, I think it's you can choose that one to double barrel in a capped game, but if it's an offsuit 9,
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad to check back there. And sometimes you can even go for you can even bluff the river because it's a line, it's a line that's not often taken as a bluff, a check back on turn and bluff river. I mean, you can evaluate depending on the player. But
Okay.
I appreciate the call.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA100. Click on the link right there.